It's something to see. It's just a very interesting place. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another edition of Soarin Scratchin. I'm Evil Chicken, and this gentleman right here.
I am the EagleFan. Welcome.
Yes, indeed. As it turns out, this is, I guess you could say, the third of our top 10 list concerning our favorite places. Tonight, our number one pick will be on the list, but we also have honorable mention. Geez, Dave, I don't know. What do you say we get started?
Yeah, I think we are the only people on YouTube that have had a 3-part top 10 list.
Yeah.
Maybe we like to talk a little bit, but I think that's our charm.
Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah.
Okay, you can lead us off.
Oh, me? Oh, well,
yeah.
If that's the case. All right, let's talk about the Thousand Islands. Let's talk about a place called Bolt Castle. Bolt Castle is on Hart Island, which is, surprise, surprise, in the Thousand Islands. It's a major thing to see. You obviously have to take a boat there, or a seaplane, I guess. It's got one of those tragic love story things. Some guy with more money than God, he basically loved his wife, and he's going to build her a castle, and he builds a castle and is just about to be completed, and she falls over dead. He stops. Isn't that romantic? Anyway,
that's very romantic.
It's adorable. He stops production and construction and all that stuff and pulls away. The island goes into disrepair. And some years later, the community gets together and they're saying, you know what, this is a heck of a landmark. We should save this. And they do. It's something to behold. It's something that Agatha Christie would write about. It's or The Great Gatsby. F. Scott Fitzgerald would absolutely set something here. What do you think of that, old spot? It's something to see. If you're playing Clue in real life, you could set it here. There's a huge Tiffany stained glass ceiling. It's just a very interesting place. Highly recommend it. If you get to the Thousand Islands, you got to go.
I would like to check that out sometime. I've never been to that area. I would like to get there. I've been close. I've just never really been to that area. I hear they have good ranch dressing in that area.
Oh!
Sorry, lame dad joke.
That's okay. It took me a while, but I'm there now.
We will cut to my honorable mention. This is more of a personal honorable mention. Okay. This is a location that I spent a lot of time at when I was a kid on vacations, because my family had a small little, we call it the cabin up there. This was Swartzwood Park up in North Jersey. It was a little home that we had, called it a cabin. It was like a little tiny 2-bedroom shack, basically, up a hill and across the road from the state park. The lake was over there, so I could go over there. I would jump on the rowboat because we could rent boats. I'd rent like a rowboat, or I'd rent a paddle boat, or go out and go swimming, go out and go fishing, or just go hiking through the park. It's a place that is very dear to my heart because I've been there so many times, and it was just a nice, peaceful getaway.
Right.
We would walk over to, there was a general store. You'd walk through the park, probably walk a couple miles to get over there to it through the park, and then down another road. It was like a good old-fashioned looking type of general store in a little country town.
Okay. That
was always a nice, because you knew if we were going over there, we're going to get ice cream or we're going to get something. So you'll like that when you were a kid. Not to mention the ice cream again. Seems like we always come back to that. But so if you get a chance, I would recommend it. It has changed a lot since I was a kid. Okay. We went up there with my family a couple of years back for a vacation.
Right.
And I was surprised at how much things have grown up in that area now. So it's not quite the same as what it used to be. Like I remember going from there over to the neighboring town that was called Newton, and driving down like the main road there. it would be just a bunch of trees, and then okay, there was a drive-in movie theater, and then maybe another couple grocery stores. And that was about it. But now coming back, I couldn't even tell that I was on that road. It was all just chain stores after chain stores and malls and mini malls, and I kind of miss what it used to be.
Yeah, I would imagine. Fortunately, though, you have those memories. That's priceless. And
yes,
that's so cool. That's an excellent addition to your list. What was the name of that state park again, Dave?
Swartzwood.
Swartzwood. Okay, cool. Very cool. Great entry.
Thank you.
I guess it's my turn, huh?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to mention another tourist trap that you either love or you hate. I happen to love this one. It's called Robbie's Marina in Isla Mirada, Florida, right there on US 1. It's a unique place because it holds the honor of having, for me, the best $5 that I have ever spent, ever. For $5, you get a bucket of fish, and bucket of dead fish, that is. And
tasty.
And you take that bucket of dead fish and you walk out onto the docks. And then you lie down and you dangle the fish over the edge. And up from the water, spring these tarpon. Now, tarpon are a prehistoric fish. There's not much meat on a tarpon, so they're not. It's really for sport fishing or for feeding, because these things are something to behold. Because they'll come out and they will snatch that fish. It's just amazing. Some of these things go from anywhere from 3 feet or up to 7 or 8 feet in the wild. Right around there, they're about 3 to 4 to 5 feet long, which is a pretty big fish. But it's so cool to feed them. Also the pelicans. Watch out for the pelicans. But it's cool. I love Robbie's. It's kind of like an art kind of community. You can get your food there. They have boats you can rent and all that stuff that I'd love to do someday, but just can't afford it. But I can afford a $5 bucket of fish, and let me tell you, if you're down there, you should too. It was a blast. There we go.
I will have to try that. I won't like smelling like dead fish, but I'll
it's not that bad.
So it's back in my court.
Yeah, the ball is in your court, sir.
I am going over towards China for this one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Going to Macau.
Whoa.
It is right next to Hong Kong. And when I was at Macau, I stayed at the Venetian Macau.
Okay.
Which is the largest casino in the world.
Really?
Think of a large casino like, say, what the Taj Mahal would have been here when it was here.
Right.
Put 4 of them together.
4?
That's about what you've got. It has 4 entirely separate hotel towers. I actually got lost finding my room the first day because I came around and I said, there's the elevator. And go to show him my key, and he's like, oh, no, this isn't the elevator you want. But I'm at that floor. He says, no, this is the North Tower. You want the South Tower. So then I found the East Tower.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. There's 3 different canals in there, like they have at Vegas, where they have the canal, and you can get on the gondola and go for a ride. They got 3 different of those, all within the inside.
That's
bunch of places to eat, bunch of stores, but you can get lost just walking around inside there.
Apparently.
And outside of there, I actually liked it as well. It was nice. We had to go for a little bit of a walk. One of the guys from the office was staying at a different location. Well, I walked over and we met him it was basically almost like an Irish pub. And we sat there and watched rugby was on. We sat and watched that. And, he had a blast. I liked it. Interesting story from that trip. It was a work trip. It was a gentleman from our India office who I actually met him on his first day there. I was over in India for a trip.
Right.
He was from our Bangalore office, which didn't exist at that point in time. I've only been to Chennai. He was in Chennai for the first couple of weeks while they were preparing the office in Bangalore. So I know how Chennai traffic is. Chennai traffic is insane. India traffic, they're not overblowing it. It is bad. My understanding with talking from everyone over there is the Bangalore traffic makes the Chennai traffic look light.
Really?
So to give you an example of the Chennai, we were 3 miles from the office is where the guest house that they kept us in.
Okay.
It could take a half hour just to get to work. It was crazy.
Yikes. Can you imagine? Oh, you don't have to imagine. You lived it, but
yeah. So I can't imagine what it's like in Bangalore. Well, the interesting story is one of the nights we also had an office in Macau. So one of the people from Macau, actually the 2 people that worked in that office, were picking us up and taking us back to the guy's house to have dinner with him and his family.
Right. Wow.
So cool. We're in the car and we're driving through, and it's a little bit of traffic. It's not even like New York traffic. It's right. Like if we have heavy traffic maybe around here around Christmas time going over to the mall, kind of heavy traffic. Well, we're in the car, and the woman, bless her heart, she was a really nice lady there. She turns to us and she's like, "Oh my God, I am so sorry. I am so sorry for all this traffic." Well, I see the gentleman from the India office start to do this. He's looking around. I looked at him. I said, "You're looking to find where the traffic is, aren't you?" Because I know he's from Bangalore, so it had to be even worse for him. So
yeah, it's kind of like Fury Road from Mad Max with the traffic going on.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
So it's a nice place to go to. Also, while we were there, we went into mainland China. That's similar to Hong Kong, where it's kind of sectioned off from mainland China. You actually have to go through customs to get to mainland China.
Wow.
And went over there. There's like a big area to do shopping and stuff, so you can buy stuff really cheaply. You can get real cheap. So we had dinner and stuff there. So that was a nice little getaway there. It's just a nice little place to see. It's a little surprising because it's not mainland China that you'd expect from mainland China. It's more like a Hong Kong type of city. So it's very nice.
What an amazing set of experiences. That's cool. That is way cool. Wow. Good Lord.
So it's your serve now, sir.
Oh, yes. I'm going to bring this one real close to home, actually. I'm going to talk about the Pine Barrens, actually, right here in New Jersey. What I love about the Pine Barrens, my wife said it best, I think, earlier this week. We were hiking. It feels like home. The sugar sand, the scrub pines, and James Taylor's deep greens and blues you can see right through the trees, and to hear the wind go through the pine. There's something incredibly poetic about that. I think it was John Muir who said, "Buy young, sell high," or something like that. He said, between every 2 trees is the gateway to another world. And that's kind of how you feel out there. It's a very poetic kind of place if you have the eyes to see it. I love the Pine Barrens. So there we are.
Yeah, I like it there. I always like going out to Batstow, walking around there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you have the Batona Trail you can pick up right there at Batstow. Good Lord, we've been all over the place in the Pines. And there's still so much to explore, which is beautiful. I mean, you got your Martha's Furnace, you got Quaker Bridge Road, Atzion Lake, and the Atzion Cabins, and it just goes all over. You mentioned Batstow and Wharton State Forest, and it's interesting. It's a wonderful backyard to have, and we like to disappear there every now and then. I know that my wife and I adore it. So, there we are. That's my next one. What you got?
I am going across the country a little bit here.
Bring
We
it
are
on.
going to Arizona for this one. Place
Ooh.
I've only been to once, but I want to go back and I want to see more of it because it was a quick tour that I had. Wasn't enough. You only get to see a little bit of it. But the one thing I've noticed about it is
Yes.
you've seen pictures of it and it looks wonderful in pictures. But until you're standing at the edge looking at the Grand Canyon, you really haven't seen it. Yes, the pictures look nice, but it's once you're standing there looking, it's like this is just so much larger than you can imagine by looking at the picture.
Beautiful. I can only imagine, quite frankly. One of these days, it's on our bucket list, actually. Pretty big, huh, Dave?
Yes. It's almost like it's grand. I definitely want to get out there. I'd like to spend some more time there.
Sure.
Maybe be able to get the hike down inside of it a little bit before I get too much older and need to bring my oxygen with me.
I hear you. Trust me. That's why I know on my top. Wait. No, that was on the. Sorry, please forgive me, Dave. That's on a different list I have about places I'd like to go. That's actually number one on the list. And I hear people like yourself discuss it and describe it, and it just fires my imagination. It has to be something to behold.
Yes, it is. It's amazing just seeing how far you are away from just the river down there. At one point we were up there and the tour guide was telling us, okay, if you look down this direction, you can see this little tiny ribbon of something going around. He said, that's the Colorado River. How far we were away from that at that point, it looked like a little thread. I think he said it was probably about maybe 400 yards wide or more at that point in time where we could see it. So we were like a mile up and a mile or two out from it. So
remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. Oh yeah, man. Definitely. That's on my list. Very cool. I'll have to pick your brains. See what the best way to approach the Grand Canyon is.
I don't even know.
That's fair. That's fair.
I would like to find out though.
Very cool. We're just one lottery win away, Dave.
There you go. And we're back to you.
Oh, to me?
Yes, we are.
Well, lo and behold, we've come to that magical moment where I can discuss something that crosses, actually, our lists. For me, I
know where we're going here.
I adore this place I'm about to describe. I like it because of a host of things. The food, the music, the architecture, the history, the beignets, the chicory coffee. I'm talking about the French Quarter in New Orleans. I find it unique. When you take a stroll there, at least for me, when you take a stroll there, you don't feel like you're in the continental United States. You feel like you're just like one world over, maybe. But it does not feel like maybe someplace in Europe. But it does not have the feel like you are here. And that's wonderful. One of the best burgers I ever had down there was they're in the gay district, actually. What they did was they took the burger and they took a hubcap and put it on top of there and let the juices simmer. It was awesome. Cafe du Monde, Pirates Alley. You can actually go to Pirates Alley, go to the Absinthe Bar, have a sip, and then walk and look up at the same room that Tennessee Williams wrote A Streetcar Named Desire. And then, if you're feeling frisky, you can go out and hop on one of the streetcars. I don't know if it's named Desire, but they're there. I like that. And again, I said the music, and there's a big art scene too. Yeah, I really dug it. But of course, results may vary.
let me caveat my
Yes,
discussion of this.
indeed.
I have this on my overrated list, not the French Quarter per se, because I didn't.
Please
You
forgive me.
had a much more involved time there. You had time to see more things and do more things. With me, I was there for work. I had a Tuesday afternoon, and I basically walked over to Bourbon Street, and that was really all I had time to see a little bit from there.
I
So
got you.
for me, well, yeah, fun little party atmosphere, just overrated list in my book. But again,
That's cool.
we're only talking Bourbon Street, a very limited look. I didn't get to the rest of the French Quarter and seeing everything you got to see. So I'm sure I would like to see that at some point in time. I just did not have that chance when I was there.
Oh, hey, man, I can dig it. I can dig it. Going for work and going for play are two different things. We actually met a vampire while we were there. He does vampire tours. Lord Chaz, if you're out there, it was awesome. I forget. He does run these companies. He's been doing it for years. It was definitely interesting. It's like a haunted tour kind of thing, but they give you like history of the area and what's happened, and some of it's pretty unique.
This is why you've been up so late at night anymore.
Indeed. So those are the things I have on my honorable mention list, Dave. How about you?
I will pick up one last one. It's actually a couple of things. It's Vegas. It's a couple things in Vegas and around Vegas.
Fair
I
enough.
don't really have a lot of specific, other than the typical touristy things. You want to go see the fountains. You want to go see some of the shows.
Sure.
You want to go see like the dolphins. A lot of things in there that you want to go see.
Wait, the dolphins?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's at Mirage.
They have dolphins?
Yeah.
Here's what we need to do, Dave. We need to do that road trip.
Yes, we do. Well,
we need to do that road trip.
Yeah, that's what I said. There's so many little things there. If you go to Mandalay Bay, they've got an aquarium as well there. So, and a lot of different things there that you can see. There's just so many little things that you can see that, I mean, my wife and I went out there a couple of years ago for her birthday. We were out there for about 4 days. I think we maybe spent $20 each at the slots, and the rest of the time we were just walking around seeing things.
That's beautiful.
It's nice. We stayed at. I feel like I'm not shilling for the Venetian here, honestly.
I got you. It's all good.
But the Venetian Casino is so far of the places I've stayed. I don't say this like, oh, I'm this world traveler. My
you
job
are.
my job takes me out there. So basically, I work in the casino industry. So I go to a lot of the different casinos. That's why that tended to be a little bit in my list here.
Bingo.
As far as any place that I've stayed so far in Vegas, that is the best location because everything is a suite. So you have plenty of space in your room. It's just, the building is also large. It's a large building there. You've got a couple floors worth of stores and shops and food court and restaurants, some really good Italian restaurants. It's just a nice place. And along the strip, you've got everything else that you can see. So you can pretty much stay at a place like that and walk up and down the strip and catch whatever you want to catch. I wouldn't advise doing it in the middle of summer. If you don't want to be sweating yourself like crazy out there.
Yeah, that would be disadvantageous.
Yeah, but it's a nice little place. And the other place I added in there, I would like to get to when it's cooler, to have a chance to actually walk around it. It's Red Rock Canyon. It's about a half hour outside of there. This is not the Red Rock Canyon from Colorado where you hear about the concerts that take place.
I fell into that trap.
I wasn't going to rat you out.
That's all right.
It's just a nice place because you get away from the city. You can get out there. You can walk around. You can drive around some more, see other things. But again, it depends on the time of year. If it's 110 degrees. You really don't feel like walking through the desert.
It's a dry heat. Bull.
Dry heat can almost be worse because you get dehydrated so much quicker.
Because you don't evaporate, right?
Yeah, you do evaporate.
Wait, what? Oh, that's right. Thank you. Point taken. See? Science.
So that is the end of my honorable mention. Did you have anything else that you wanted to mention as well, or?
That about takes care of my honorable mention too. I think that leaves us with what was our number one pick, Dave?
Our number one pick, and I will actually let you handle this one. This is a place that you've been to that I have not been to, but is on my like to go to list.
All righty. I love this place, Acadia National Park in Mount Desert Island, Maine. It's a unique place in the universe, in my humble. It's the tallest mountain on the eastern seaboard that people climb every New Year's so that they can watch the sunrise, be the first to see it happen. You can let your kids run around up there at the top. They're not going to fall off. It's nice, and it's got a nice slope and everything. And the drive up the mountain's interesting. But what's amazing is there's a moment when you can look out onto Frenchman's Bay and see the islands that are out there. And you look into the middle distance, and you can't necessarily tell where the sky becomes the water and the water becomes the land. And it's like one of those moments where nature sort of ministers to you, and you say, wow, I think I could probably stay here the rest of my days. It's a beautiful place. Plus, you throw in the lobster pounds that are down at the bottom of the mountain, and oh, dude. Basically, you get to choose a lobster. They put it in a net and they boil it. Best lobster ever, yo.
You're losing me a little bit on the lobster part.
Oh, that's okay. I'll eat yours. They have chicken tenders, I'm sure.
I have heard a lot of Acadia. There's a guy that I used to work with a while back. May he rest in peace. I need to say that. Really good guy. Considered him a friend. And he used to vacation there like every summer. And he would rave about it, about going up there, telling me about all the times, all the different things that they would do, what they would see, the sights and everything. So I would definitely like to get there sometime just to see what everybody's talking about, because it sounds like it's a wonderful place to go.
I couldn't recommend it higher. There's plenty of wildlife, moose, bear. I've never seen either there, but I hear they're there. Bar Harbor is right there. That's a town, kind of like a Cape May kind of thing, with cruise ships that come in every now and then. But oh yeah, Dave, it's wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, I definitely want to get there at some point in time. So that is our top 10 plus several honorable mentions.
Yes.
Thank you for getting through this far with us. And
yes.
Please give us a like and subscribe somewhere down here.
Hey, why not?
It wouldn't hurt. And let us know. Have you been to any of these locations? What do you think?
Please. And let us know if there's any place that we should go. I could think of a couple.
We can think of a few. That's another discussion we might have at some point. And also, road trip.
Oh my, that's an intriguing question. What is the best road trip? Or, I guess it all depends on what you want to say. Tell us down here.
Yes, please do. Thank you, everybody. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Stay safe and healthy.
Exactly what he said. Take care. Thank you. Pretty big, huh, Dave?
It's almost like it's grand.
It has to be something to behold.